Let's talk about the Manchester United fitness test because it's that time of the year, the off season, and all the college soccer players are worrying about passing their preseason fitness test instead of actually taking an off season and making themselves a better athlete. So let's take a look at what the Manchester United fitness test is. So here we have the PDF of the test. Run, repeat 100 yards and jog back. There is 1 rep every minute to complete the entire test. You will run 22 100-yard sprints in 22 minutes. 100-yard sprint in 25 seconds, 35 seconds to get back, 10 sets. After initial set of 10, each round will be run by this time. 100 yards, 24 seconds, 36 seconds to jog back. And it goes down to a 100-yard sprint in 16 seconds, 44 seconds to jog back, 100-yard sprint in 15 seconds, 45 seconds to get back. Test maxed out if you can complete 3 sets of this round. So, what do I think of this test? Is it a hard test? Does it test your ability to be fit for soccer? Well, let's start out with the hard test. Yeah, it looks hard as shit. Like, it's not something I would want to run. In fact, I would dread having to run this. So, for any college soccer player whose coach is making them run the Manchester United fitness test, I feel for you because it looks like it sucks. But more importantly, does it actually prepare you for soccer? The answer is no. This is a cross-country test. This is not a soccer test. And the reason I say that is very, very simple. Please tell me how often a soccer player runs 100 yards in a straight line with no stops. It virtually never happens. Like, the only times this ever happens is a dead-on sprint to recover in very rare occasions in the game. And the best example I could think of would actually be a goalkeeper that's come up for a corner kick because their team's losing and they miss, then they're sprinting back and getting to the goal. But here's the other thing. The way this test is designed, you're never really sprinting, because you have too much time to complete the 100 yards in the beginning, but by the time you're at the end, you're going to be too fatigued to actually be sprinting at any real high speeds. So what this test is actually testing is our moderate to slow running ability over long periods of time. And that's not the physical demands of soccer. Soccer is a speed and power endurance sport. So when we're testing for soccer fitness, we need to actually test fast running, our ability to do repeated sprints over and over again. But also, soccer is not a linear sport. It's a non-linear sport. So you need to be able to run and change directions rapidly. Now, what tests are the best for this? Well, frankly, I'm not a huge fan of fitness tests of this nature at all. In an ideal world, I would actually focus on tests like the 40-yard dash, broad jump, the high jump, and change of direction test, such as the arrowhead change of direction test. Then I would use the GPS vest that you see players wear, and I would just measure to see how often players can maintain these high speeds and to see if they're covering enough ground in training to show that they are actually physically fit enough to play the game. I'm not a big fan of the Manchester United fitness test. I'm not a big fan of the yo-yo test. And I'm not a fan of how most college coaches use them. They basically use them as a test to not pick the players who don't pass it at the end of it for the game. And it's not really a measure of who's actually fit for soccer or who's actually good at soccer. It's a measure of who's good at a fitness test. And that's not what makes you a top soccer player.